Welcome to my podcast. Today I'm going to talk about another common case in the UK. So basically, after you introduce yourself, as I emphasize, and double check the patient name and date of birth, you'll ask the patient, how can I help you today? So the patient might be feeling down, feeling depressed, have low self-esteem, maybe stressed, maybe composed on himself, maybe anxious, feeling irritable, those kind of cues that you can obviously observe before the patient start talking. So the patient might look like is not himself, or maybe absent, and maybe they are just not feeling well, or maybe they have abusive relationship, or sound to be aggressive or violent to you. So just try to establish a rapport and try to be understanding and make them feel that they are in a safe space to talk to you here in the clinic, and try to be actively listening and not to look on the screen or try to take note while the patient is talking, because you need to be sensitive, to be empathetic, to show some interest at least, and avoid writing notes while the patient is talked, or maybe you need to avoid judgment or being judgmental or look-shocked if the patient tell you the issue. So that's the sort of thing that you need to bear in mind while taking the history and trying to establish a rapport with the patient. So the patient might say, Doctor, I'm feeling really low, I'm feeling stressed, feeling on the edge, anxious all the time, depressed, out of control, I can't control my life anymore, I'm always in debt, I'm having, also I lost my work, I lost my money, lost my finance, lost my relationship, all sorts of things. So I might ask the patient, could you tell me what's your thought or idea, what might be the reason for that? So the patient might be hesitant at start and might tell you, Doctor, I'm kind of going, and I'm having this feeling that I need to gain more money, so I go to, for instance, casino, bingo, betting shops, betting on horses or sport, and I lost all my money, and every single time I say I'm gonna gain something, but it doesn't work, I end up losing my money and just lend money from friends, from family, and I'm big debt, and I'm feeling I can't control my life all the time. I'm just thinking and occupied by that thing, and I don't know what should I do, and it's affecting my mental state of mind, and I'm just it's not working. So you'll ask him, can you tell me more? If the patient had said that, you say, what's the reason? You feel the urge to do that. So the patient might say, I heard some friend that he gained something, so I just wanted that. Or maybe he says that this is something I do from time to time. Or maybe the patient will say, I'm having this compulsive feeling all the time to gamble and to earn to be rewarded money, and it's an issue. It's a real issue in the UK, and a lot of they say even ladies nowadays, they go and they do the same thing. Obviously, a smartphone, and it's something anyone can access, and then you download stuff and you just start as small or as little, and then it goes big and you can't control it, and it's out of your control, and of course it's going to affect the patient and impact their life negatively in all sorts of things. The patient might end up taking substance or alcohol to mitigate the situation, and it's just basically gambling is addiction, like drugs, alcohol, any of that thing, and it's a chronic mental health condition that will affect every aspect of life, and it's mostly a behavioral addiction. So you will ask the patient how all that started. Do you have any family member who had the same thing? Because it has been said it can be genetic and can be trait in certain personality, and it also can be due to the brain chemistry changes. We know that when we feel pleasure and we feel happy, our dopamine is released in the brain, and always anything that make you feel happy or pleasurable will release this hormone in your brain, and you will feel joy, pleasure, like if you eat something nice, if you eat chocolate, if you've been with a nice company that you like to stay with. So all of that will affect us basically, and will cause the thing. So the patient who like gambling all the time, they always because the human brain is always motivated by the nature to seek rewards. So the patient will be like all the time have that urge, that feeling to go for gambling and to get the reward. And this will make them all the time just seeking, wondering, finding ways to get into that. So once you just establish the rapport and understand the patient's situation and the cause for that, you'll ask if there is any other past medical history, if there is any medication that the patient takes on a regular basis, an allergy for anything, as we always agreed. And then you will examine the patient. You need to take the observation, basically, blood pressure, pulse, temperature, respiratory rate, because the patient might be influenced by if he's taking, for instance, alcohol or substance or anything. And then you will try to engage with the patient after the patient open up with you, and try to agree with the patient what's the management plan, how to move forward with the situation. So basically, you will suggest for the patient, do you have anything or do you have any expectation that I could help with? Maybe the patient, they have in their mind something, because obviously when he came to you, he's looking for help. So you will try to signpost and ask them if they can have like a spending diary on the daily basis in order to know where is the spending gone for. Give them a leaflet about gambling and its effect on a human and daily life. You can signpost to the expert like addiction counselor, mental health professional as well, and also there is psychotherapy, CBT, which can be structural oriented therapy, or can be a group therapy, or can be family therapy if there is multiple family member who's engaged in the same thing. And also there is something else called clinical social worker, which will help with the patient to gain control over their life and try to manage better financially and heal the broken loved relationships and find other ways to spend their time rather than thinking about gambling. And all of that just need to express to the patient in order to show interest, whereby to try to avoid anything that could pull them to the gambling thing. And you need to be always non-judgmental. Avoid to be to look like shocked, or maybe say, "Oh my goodness, how did you do this to yourself?" or something like that. Try to adopt a non-judgmental situation. Try to understand the patient, and try to just help and offer what can be done in order for them to try to stop this habit and try to get over it, and also try to signpost the patient to the professional that can help with this gambling. And also there is something else called National Gambling Helpline, whereby the patient can talk to the people and gain help and how to combat this problem, basically. So by that, I hope that I covered the main points in gambling. So this could be another case you could face with BLAB2, and try to be smart and try to cover the main point. Always show sympathy and empathy, mostly empathetic. You have to be and sensitive to the patient feeling and try to adopt non-judgmental situation in order to gain a best score, and always signpost and red flag the patient if there is anything doesn't seem right, or patient feels suicidal, or patient trying to end his life. Signpost them immediately, and if anything doesn't seem right, tell them to come back to the GP or go to the A&E immediately. Thank you.